As a rule, 60 battlegrounds don't actually pop on their own, but a friend on my battle tag decided that since he knows so many 60 Twinks, he'd bring them all together into a group and then do a war game. And I thought, brilliant, I've really wanted to do this for ages, so I'm doing a 60 battleground here. And on the subject of taking initiative in making this battleground, it also makes people within the battleground take initiative to do things because they know the people they're playing against they want to win. So doing stuff like running into the tunnel against 7v1 to fear them all and then power your way out happens more and more often, and that's actually really fun because it makes the battleground more challenging rather than just random where it's everyone in the middle going around killing each other and whatever. I've been playing Arms with Sulfuras, the hammer thing, mostly because it just looks better. Arms isn't actually as good as Fury at this level because it doesn't have mastery, and loads of damage comes from mastery because of that Arms Warrior mastery buff. So I've just been running around doing sort of mediocre damage until it dropped down to low health when you come up and do an execute and then boom, it hits them for like 6k or something ridiculous like that. It's really fun. I can also use an ability called Sweeping Strikes, which basically means that every time I hit like person A, person B standing next to person A gets hit for 50%. So if I use Sweeping Strikes and execute someone, then the person next to them gets hit for half the amount, which is really cool. Sadly, some classes are super unbalanced, although that doesn't actually change from 90. As you can just see, Feral just destroyed a mage before I could even have the chance to charge him. It's because Feral's damage is crazy and mages are terrible. But it's still alright if you take Ferals out of the equation. Damage is all around about the same. So it's not that bad like Twinking usually is. The great thing about being in a group is we ban bonus armor stacking. What that is basically tanks, when they have this stack of bonus armor, it gives them attack power as well. And all gear scales up. So if you have item level 30 gear, whatever, it scales up to whatever it is at your level. So they can collect bonus armor gear from every single level throughout the game, get bonus armor in every single slot, and have insane attack power like 10,000 or whatever, and just one-shot people. And that happens a lot in Arena, which is not that fun. So we banned it in this battleground. I know Rabek has made a video about Prop Paladin using bonus armor. You can go see that. It's crazy damage because of the bonus armor stacking. So we banned that, which means that the battleground's actually pretty fair. We had to do a bit of balancing, like making sure that the Feral was on the team with the least number of people, because it was 6v7, the minimum's 5v5, but other than that it actually went really well. One of my favourite things about 60 PvP and why I love playing it, other than the fact you can use legendaries in PvP and stuff, is the simplicity of it. I feel that as it's gone on, PvP and the classes in general have become way too complicated. Every class has every other class's abilities. There are like 4 classes with stealth. There's mages, hunters, rogues, ferals. Everyone's got their own interrupt, like, or 2 of them. They've all got part of another class, and they've lost that identity. Whereas 60, before you learn all of your abilities, there is still quite a unique sort of split between the classes. Like, mage is master of roots. You can root and slow and get away and whatever. This mage sadly couldn't because, yeah, I don't want to be mean to him, but he wasn't that great at like kiting and stuff. But you can keep a warrior off you. Warriors do insane damage when they connect, but they've only got their charges, and that's it. They don't have heroic leap and safeguard and whatever like you do at higher levels. So it's actually really simple, which makes it really fun as well, because each class has their own strength and weakness, which makes it really unique, and you can go, oh god, there's a paladin coming, let's adapt our playstyle to deal with the paladin. Assuming you caught a brief glimpse of my bags there, you can see that it's packed full with lots of different weapons and armor. That's another fantastic thing about Twinking, and why I love it so much, especially at this level, is you can use anything you like because of this scaling. I can use a really slow weapon for massive hits. I can use a weapon with an awesome proc. There's one that has chain lightning, so when you hit someone it goes and bounces through all of the enemies, just like the shaman spell, chain lightning. There are hammers that heal you. There are things that shoot fireballs. There are things that curse your enemy and give you critical strike bonuses and give you extra attacks. You can use anything you want, and it gives you so much customization within your character. And that's something, again, that is sort of being dribbled out of the game. Now, along with class identity is the customization. If you think to old talent trees, you could make any build you want. Sure, it wasn't viable, but it could have been. It was fun. You can be unique. You can be your own person. You can be a drain life warlock spec that focuses around drains and stuff, or you can be a mage. It's a mixture between frost and fire, or you can be sort of hybrid. I don't even know, but you can make your own character, like shaman weapon infused. You could swap them. You could be double wind fury. You could be double frostbrand. Don't know why you do that. You could be rockbite to earth living, so some tanky spec, and they've taken that away. So I can use whichever weapon I want. I can use iron foe, which are hotfixing back in extra attacks, and be a really quick attacking, like really fast berserker kind of person. Or I can have really two massive slow weapons, like I've got the slowest weapon in the game here, called the pacifier, which is a 4 weapon speed, so massive hits but really slow auto attacks. And that is something I really love, the fact that you can take whatever weapon you want and customize your character around it. This happens with armor as well, so you can get an armor set that boosts your stamina loads or whatever you want to be a bit tankier. Talking about all these customization and classes and all of that jazz, I was actually thinking of making a shaman 60 twink. I know I have loads of shaman twinks, but making it different levels actually affects the playstyle loads. If you compare like 91 to 60, there's a massive difference, and to 70 as well. I used to have a horde one actually, but I leveled him up. I can't even remember what happened to him. He's gone now though. I was going to make another one and an experiment again with these weapons. Like I could get there's some claws from Molten Core, and when you get a set of them, there's a left hand and a right hand. I've only got the right hand over and over and over again, which is really unlucky. It's a bit like the Warglaives dropping. But when you get the pair, one hand is like a maul ability, and it bleeds your target and makes their movement speed slowed by 60%. The other hand gives you massive haste buff, and they're really fast weapons as well, so you're clawing away at your target really quickly, and then there's a small chance, like 1% chance on a hit, that you'll summon some sort of tiger to help you and attack with you. This is another reason I love it so much. You can get these really awesome weapons. So you get this tiger fighting alongside you, doing extra damage, and you can have your spirit wolves and whatever, so you can be some sort of like Beastmaster Rexar build or whatever. Or I can get the draining life hammers and be tanky or whatever. So I thought that would be really fun. It sucks that they removed two-handed shaman. You can't storm strike anymore, and Wind Fury sucks. Otherwise I would have got Sulfuras and beaten all over that. That's one of the reasons I made my 60 Horde Twink in the first place, was to get Sulfuras. Sadly it never dropped and I sort of gave up and whatever. I do actually have the Eye of Sulfuras on my 91 shaman, but since I can't use it, I'm not going to spend the money to get the hammer to put them together. It costs like 20k or something ridiculous like that. But, you know, money has actually been really easy to make in Worlds of Draenor. I mean, after you've built your garrison and all your buildings, whatever, which can be a bit of a gold thing, you just get free money from your garrisons. I've sort of been slacking. I really can't be bothered to do my garrison every day on all my characters over and over again. But there's so much potential for money there that it shouldn't actually be a problem. But the whole garrison thing is just wearing off now. I mean, it was going to be cool just as a side thing, but it's so much emphasis on garrisons that it's not fun. It's like a chore. I log on and go, oh, I have to do my garrison stuff. You know, it's not very nice. And then this new patch that's coming out, it's not going to fix any of that. There's so many people complaining that it's not bringing anything new. Like, there's the selfie camera, which is a glorified screenshot, basically. It gives your character a funny face whilst you're doing a screenshot. You can do that anyway by /dance or whatever. Then they've got Twitter integration, and my view on this is, obviously they were just given a deal by Twitter that will pay you or whatever if you put this in your game to get more people on Twitter. And when you tweet with this new Twitter integration system, you automatically put a hashtag Warcraft in your tweets. It automatically puts in for you, so that they can bump their hashtag Warcraft up on the list of popular trends on Twitter. Then, as terms of actual content, we got a race in the Dark Moon Fair, which you can only do once a month, and will take up about 30 minutes of your time before you get bored of it. And that's actually it. There was meant to be a dungeon, but that got pushed back to 6.2, Iron Docks. There are no dailies, not even that. There are no new dungeons. There's Blackrock Foundry, but that's part of the opening Warlords of Draenor patch, I guess. But that's not part of 6.1. And saying that the content in 6.1 is the content before that just shows how little there actually is. It feels like Warlords is actually being released now, and it was released in its beta state. Like, the release was a shambles. I won't go into that, because I've already whined too much in this video, as well as talking about twinking. But it feels as if there's sort of like a delay. I mean, they had the biggest team ever working on Warcraft. They had the longest time ever before an expansion. And then we get the expansion with the least amount. Now, on Blizzard's side here, actually, I think the reason for this is that most of their work went into things that are not appreciated so much by the players. Loads of work must have gone into the new models and updating every single NPC in their game with a new model, but no one really notices that because it's not content. Then the stat squishing all of these items and working out the scaling and how the stats are going to work out. It's not content, no one really notices it, but the amount of time and manpower that had to go into that must have been astronomical. Then, garrisons. Okay. Garrisons. People are okay with garrisons, I guess. I don't particularly like them very much at all. It's very grindy. But if you look at the disaster on launch, the work needed to go in to get all this instancing working must have been nuts. I mean, I don't do computery stuff like that, but to get everyone into their own separate private instance in one space on the same server, managing all of that information on something they've never done before, I think this is the reason for the lack of content, actually, because they spent all of their time doing non-content things which aren't appreciated by the players. Now, they had to do it, I guess, but it might not have been that smart of a move. So, thanks for watching this 60 Battleground, and thanks for listening to my ramblings. If you liked it, please click like. If you want to see more of this kind of video, this wasn't a live commentary, then please tell me in the comments, and click subscribe when the button comes up in a moment. See ya! Happy with? But those are all finished now, so hopefully you can get around to doing some more fun stuff. Because the mage's trying to kill me. So yes, basically the reason I'm on this character is because it's a level 94 Twink. Yeah, that's the thing now, because if you haven't